Welcome back to my channel. Now, in answer to lots of questions that I get about flat roofs, no better time to answer some of those questions than now, because I have one of my favourite tradespeople, Tommy Bates. Now, Tommy I've known since he was really young, before you were on the tools.
Yeah.
Because Tommy's dad Simon's been doing my flat roofs forever, indeed everything, for the last 20 years. So, Tommy, we're going to take everyone up on the roof and we're going to have a look at the product. Now, tell us about the product you use.
Well, it's called Alwitra Avalon VSK. As you can see, the lovely trim that finishes it off, caps it off nicely.
So what it is, in a nutshell, it's a single ply membrane, yeah? And it was developed in Germany back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most advanced products at the time, and it's just got more and more developed. And how it's put together, correct me if I'm wrong, it's welded together.
Yep. Welded with a heat gun.
With a heat gun, and once it's welded together, so it's in strips, it's got a felt back, a fleece back.
It's got a fleece back, it's got self-adhesive back, so what you do is you prime the ply, you prime anything and just stick it straight to it, and then you roll it out, and then it's got like a film on it, which is the fleece is underneath, or self-adhesive stuff is underneath, and you pull it back and it sticks, and once that's stuck, you won't never getting it up.
So that's quite a new thing. I remember Simon, your dad, always used to mop down the adhesive, and on a cold day, sometimes have to put a bit of flame to it.
Yeah, that one was the glue one. That was Avalon V. So this is Avalon VSK. This is the self-adhesive one. Avalon V is the one with the glue and the the glue and the fire.
And you roll it all out, and then you lap the seams, and then you use a special gun.
Yeah, the heat gun that just it welds it together so it becomes one big sheet.
I'll tell you what. Let's go upstairs, have a quick look at it, and you can just show us how you're doing these lovely trims that finish it off. All right?
Yep, sounds good.
Let's go. So show us the membrane, Tommy.
So this is the VSK. This is the self-adhesive one. So what you do is you prime the deck.
Yeah.
And then you lay the membrane down.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you just roll it back, and then what I do is I get a straight blade and just score the back.
Yeah.
And then when you can't roll it back, then you peel it off, and then this is the self-adhesive. It's very sticky without the primer, but with the primer it just gives it that extra.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's
very sticky. But with the primer it just gives it that extra, like it just proper pulls it down.
Yeah,
exactly. And then as you see, there's not one. It's not lifted at all on this whole roof, which is good. This is why we use this one.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. I think it's a really good. I remember when that first came in. I know Simon was quite excited about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's very good. It's good for like dormer work as well, because where it just if they plied it nice, you just get it literally just sucks straight onto it, and there's no imperfections whatsoever. Their whole system's made by Alwitra. All it comes to trims, to the primer, everything.
Smelly, is it?
Yeah, it's smelly. Yeah, we wear a mask. Yeah, we wear a mask.
So this is ultimately what the Alwitra looks like. So, as I said, it's a single ply membrane, and this one is actually bonded directly back to the insulation, which is about 120 to 150 millimeters thick. So this is the welding process, Tommy.
Yes.
How does it work?
Well, basically this is hot air gun.
Yep.
And when you turn it up to a certain, I like it on 8, because if you have it on 9, it tends to burn it. It depends how fast you go, but I like to be a bit slower because I know it's got it. What you do is it's got the nozzles at an angle. Yeah. You kind of just, what I do, pull it back, slip it in. Then when you're welding, sometimes see a little...
A seam, so it's actually
and then
welding it together. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so it becomes homogeneous, it becomes one piece.
Yeah, it becomes one basically, like one big sheet.
Brilliant, that's amazing. Yeah, well, as I say, I was amazed when I first saw it in action. The other good thing is it's easy to repair. Yeah.
If you accidentally, if you're carrying the skylights up, sometimes people do drop them. But if you do make a little hole, all I do is get a bit of tape, I clean around it, and I'll just put a little patch over it, a little circle over it, and it's done.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So you've just got the tapes to put around the tops of the trims.
Yep, that's it.
So what you've done is you've prepared all the trims, fixed them all down to they're mechanically fixed.
Screwed them all in, make sure they're all nice and all parallel to each other, all around the perimeter. And then what I do is, I'll just come along with the tape, and then that's done.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Excellent. All right, mate. Well, you crack on. I'm just going to have a little look at this. So this is what the product looks like. It's a little bit on the wet side. Okay, this has actually got a very flat finish, so it's like sort of like just an anthracite grey when it's dry. It's completely bonded, okay? So this layer of Alwitra is bonded to the PIR insulation. The PIR insulation is tissue faced, and that's bonded down to the OSB deck underneath. So once we've fixed our deck down, mechanically fixed our deck down, Simon comes along. First of all, he puts a bonded vapor control layer all the way over that. Okay, so that's the first line of defense. Then he will glue down the PIR boards, which are tissue faced. Once they're glued down, he then rolls out the self-adhesive Alwitra over a primed surface, and then he welds all of these seams together. So you can see these are the seams that are welded together, straight through, straight up over the parapet and out. And these are the trims that Tommy's been putting on now. He's mechanically fixed them all nice and parallel and true. And then he welds on the tape over the top. So it's a really nice finish. Now in this particular case, on this roof, we've got our walkover lanterns. Now the idea of those is that A, you can walk on them if you needed to, or if someone accidentally did. And B, up here, eventually we're gonna have a deck. The deck's gonna finish level with these walkover roof lights here. It's gonna finish level, 10mm expansion gap all the way around because the deck will obviously move in the heat. And it's gonna come out and finish with the parapet there. So it's gonna finish exactly with the parapet. And also the sill of the doors over here, it's gonna finish with the sill of the doors as well. So it's really, really gonna look nice. Now let's have a little look at the way we get the falls off this roof. So the high point of this roof is straight down the middle here, and then the roof falls straight away towards the front parapet where there is a box gutter. The box gutter runs all the way through down to where Tommy's been working over here into an outlet, and then it goes out the outlet straight down the drain and into the ground into there, and the same on the other side. So on the back side the falls come down all the way out, box gutter slightly widened there because we're going to get the roof water rushing down as well, so we want to make sure we can cope with that, and straight over the top through the wall and into the hopper. So that's it. So we'll have a chat with Tommy. Take a long time to learn how to do it.
It does look easy, don't get me wrong, like everyone does look at it and go, oh look lad, that's well easy, but it can be, you just got to get the technique right. Like you just got to make sure you're applying enough heat. If you apply too much heat, it burns. If you don't apply enough heat, it pulls up, and then like look, it's welded, it won't come up.
Show us that bit that you've...
Like it's not coming up, it's welded. Do you know what I mean? So it took me about probably about 3 years to learn fully how to properly properly weld a roof up with no problems.
And now you're in this job for many years.
Yeah.
How many years have you been roofing now?
Oh, about 8 years, 7 years, yeah.
Okay, so can you see yourself roofing all your way through your life?
Yeah, well, everyone says like you got to pick something you enjoy, and I do enjoy roofing. So yeah, hopefully I do for the foreseeable future. I can continue to do roofing.
You're very technical because you have a bit of a carpentry background too, don't you?
Yeah, I've done a carpet. That's where I started. I've done a carpentry apprenticeship for 3 years, and then once I've done that, obviously I've done that with my dad's cousin, and then once I got, Dad was like, do you want to come work for me for a little while, see how you get on, try something new? I was like, yeah, go on then, and then I just like being outside and doing roofing, and that's why.
Yeah, and I think as well, your carpentry skills often show, because when you do all of the trims and all that really nice stuff that you're doing at the moment, you're very accurate as well.
Yeah.
Like someone like me, who, if you know what I like, you know, I'm a bit...
Everything's got to be perfected.
As much as we can, yeah, do you know what I mean? But anyway, mate, it's really nice to have you out here, and the rain is just holding off, isn't it?
Thank God, yeah.
Otherwise it's another drive for nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right, mate. Well, it's thanks so much for sharing a bit of your knowledge.
That's all right, mate. No worries.
Everyone here, we really do appreciate it.
No worries. Cheers, Rob.